It's that time again. The year gets a little older, and we all get a little younger. The leaves begin to turn, and so does our attention to a game that kids play. The summer game has entered its fall, and it's that time again.
Clark swings, high drive, right field, going, gone, grand slam for Will Clark. Strike three, they're the National League champions. Leon Dykstra hit a home run. This ball game is over.
11 years ago, a kid they called Pops led the Pittsburgh Pirates past the Cincinnati Reds to the National League pennant. And along the mighty Ohio, they began to talk about riverboat rivalry. They met 4 times in the 70s. For the first 3, it was that big red machine that ate up the headlines. Then in 1979, Pittsburgh finally broke through, singing "We Are Family." And now these two cities go at it again. Hardened by the tough baseball times of the 80s, they begin the 90s on those rivers with the kind of hope that is only born inside a ballpark. Yes, it's that time again, and new October memories are waiting as a couple of neighbors battle to a championship. Well, of course it's a full moon on a perfect night for baseball. The same moon you're looking at, only this one is shining on the Queen City of Cincinnati on a crisp autumn evening with temperatures in the 60s as 2 teams try to harvest the National League pennant. Before a sellout crowd at Riverfront, the fans began arriving early, and like the Pirates and the Reds, who were shut out of postseason play in the 80s, they are happy to be back. And we're happy to have you join us for Game 1 of the 1990 National League Championship Series, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. And hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien, and welcome to CBS Sports coverage of an October of championship baseball as we come to you from New York City, where we will be your eyes and ears for both league championship series. Jack Buck and Tim McCarver will be along shortly from Riverfront Stadium, and as we go right to work, the subjects are Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. 2 teams that played each other dead even this year, splitting their 12-game season series. And our first order of business, the starting pitchers. Bob Walk for Pittsburgh and Jose Rijo for Cincinnati. And for some, this is our first surprise of the series, in that the Pirates are bypassing probable Cy Young Award winner Doug Drabek. There he is. Drabek pitched last Sunday, and he would have had to come back on only 3 days rest. And so, Bob Walk will get the ball tonight. You see him arriving earlier, walking. Walk caught fire in September, winning 2 of his last 3 starts with an ERA of 1.27. And speaking of hot, how about Jose Rijo? The big right-hander got a good luck kiss from his wife Rosie earlier, but he's had more than luck, folks, making him the Reds' hottest pitcher down the stretch as he won 6 of his last 8. And by the way, Rosie's dad knows pitching. He is Hall of Famer Juan Marichal, who had the most famous kick since the Rockettes. And our second order of business, the schedule, which calls for 2 travel days between games 2 and 3. This has never happened before, and there are 2 reasons it is happening now. For one, the lockout that forced the season to end only last night, and 2, the realities of network commitments, our networks. At any rate, the question becomes, what effect will this have on strategy for this series? And, you know, questions like this are going to come up during this whole month, and when they do, we'll turn to our roving reporters at the ballparks. In this case, James Brown at Riverfront Stadium. And JB, welcome. What about the layoff?
All right, Pat, you know I'll be hustling to try to get the answers for you, but as far as Cincinnati Reds manager Lou Piniella is concerned, the 2 days off this weekend is seen as a plus, and he's made a change accordingly. Jim Leland of Pittsburgh, on the other hand, said that the only difficulty 2 days off has caused him is something that you alluded to earlier, having everyone ask him, why am I not starting Doug Drabek tonight and get the use of him 3 times in the series if it were to go to 7?
I've never said this publicly, but I'll say it now. We had so much respect for the Mets, we weren't really that anxious to go home and see Cone, Gooden, and Viola and still have to clinch it. So that was Doug's regular day, so he pitched Sunday, and that way he will still have 4 days rest before he pitches again in the playoff, and that's why I did it that way.
It's not going to hurt us. In fact, it'll probably help us because it'll allow us to put Norm Charlton in the bullpen. We can go with 3 starters. Our pitchers here the month of September have pitched on on 3 days rest, and they pitched well. So I think it might be a plus for us.
Well, the bottom line for Lou Piniella is that he's got his full complement of nasty boys in the bullpen now, and he's comfortable going with a 3-man pitching rotation throughout the series. Jim Leland said, hey, Doug Drabek has been most effective all season long with 4 days rest, and I'm not going to do a thing to change that rhythm at all. Let's go back to New York and Pat O'Brien.
All right, JB, thank you. While Leland and Piniella prepare to make their postseason managerial debuts, we are joined by a man who has managed in 6 league championship series, 3 in the American League with the Royals and 3 in the National League with the Cardinals. He is Whitey Herzog, and he comes to us tonight from an undisclosed fishing pond somewhere in the Midwest. Whitey, thank you. What about this layoff? You were mad about it last night. You've kind of mellowed out on it now.
Well, actually, I've been a few playoffs, but when you have 2 days off, that takes your 4th and 5th starters out of your rotation. That's one of the reasons you got there. I think Charlton will be in their bullpen, do a good job when they start a right-hander, but it's also going to enable Jimmy Leland to use Smiley out of the bullpen, too.
What are the question marks tonight for both of these teams? Both of them have a lot of positives. What are the question marks?
Well, I think the biggest question mark in the series is Pittsburgh's bullpen, and I don't really feel that they had that bona fide stopper, and I have to give Cincinnati the edge here. Offensively, I think Pittsburgh got the better ball club.
You love Eric Davis, don't you? You think he's a franchise?
I think he's a prime time player. I think he's going to shine in this series, and he had a good second half. He came on strong. I like Eric Davis very much. Yes.
If you were managing tonight, by the way, would you have started Drabek?
I think I would have, but Jim Leland's a very good manager, and he makes a lot of right decisions. He doesn't think he can get 3 starts out of Drabek. Both managers are going to have the first 6 ball games are going to be pitched by 3 guys. And then, of course, Pinella's also stated that he's already going to have Rios for the 7th game. I don't know who Jimmy would start.
Yeah, speaking of the Reds, they came out of the gate real fast this season, about 500 in the latter part of the season. Which team will show up tonight, or does it matter?
You never know. The playoffs is the #2 part of the season, and the toughest part of baseball today is getting in the playoffs and losing the playoffs, and I've been on that side of the fence.
You know, last night we were having dinner, and every other person in New York was coming up saying, when you come into the Mets, every job that opens up or people think is opening up, you're there for. Are you going to the Mets, or what are you going to do?
Well, I can't say. I haven't talked to anybody from the Mets, but everybody on the street today, I took a walk this morning, they're all asked me if I'm coming to the Mets.
They want you back in baseball, Whitey.
Well, I am in baseball. I'm a vice president for the Cardinals, and I have a very good job.
All right. How about who's the winner of this series?
Oh, I like Cincinnati. I think the bullpen's going to be a factor, and they're both good ball clubs. They're not great ball clubs, but I still like Cincinnati.
Whitey, thanks for joining us. You look great.
All right, thank you.
Next, we'll check in on the American League story as we talk to the toast of New England, Tom Bernansky, when our coverage of baseball's league championship series rolls on from Manhattan and a stadium on a river here on CBS. Stay with us.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 1 of the 1990 National League Championship Series is brought to you by Clairol Option. Great coverage for men. Do it right with Clairol Option. And by Wendy's Old-Fashioned Hamburgers, the best hamburgers and a whole lot more.
Don't get us wrong, we love being in New York City covering this for you, but the man with the greatest seat in the house, and so do you have that same seat, is Jack Buck out at Riverfront Stadium. Jack, good evening.
Good evening, Pat O'Brien, and thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Not many baseball people picked these 2 teams to be playing at this time of year, but the Pirates and the Reds certainly deserve to be here. All the Pirates did was win 95 games, more than anybody except the Oakland club. And Cincinnati, despite some injuries, where they might have blown everybody away, still led wire to wire, Tim McCarver.
Wire to wire, certainly the catchphrase for the Cincinnati Reds this year. And, of course, wire to wire. Speaking of wired, both teams are very wired tonight. And you really only have to go beyond the infield to find the strengths of both ball clubs. Bobby Bonilla and Andy Van Slyke and Barry Bonds, most people's MVP in the National League, comprise probably and arguably the strongest outfield in baseball. As far as the Cincinnati Reds are concerned, while they can't match the consistency and the balance that the Pirates have, the Reds do have Eric Davis, and he can dominate tonight.
And as Whitey Herzog said, if the Pirates have a problem, it's the bullpen. And to point that out, Tim, they have 11 pitchers available for this playoff.
Well, the Pirates' problem is the Reds' strength. That's why the Reds are only carrying 9 pitchers. The nasty boys in the bullpen will be heard from in this series. Randy Myers, Rob Dibble, and Norm Charlton.
If you talk to the 2 managers, Lou Piniella and Jim Leland, they sound like the same guy. They want to get out in front early. We know that the Pirates bunt in the first inning. Piniella says he's going to bunt early also to try to get out in front.
I'll tell you how candid Jim Leland was. He said, we're going to make you guys smart. If Wally Backman gets on in the first inning, Jay Bell will be bunting, and you can book it.
we're going to book our public address announcer, John Prouty. Let's meet these players who will battle for the National League pennant.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to Riverfront Stadium for Game 1 of the 1990 National League Championship Series between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. Now presenting the Eastern Division champion, Pittsburgh Pirates. Introducing Pirates manager Jim Leland. Here's the Pirates starting lineup. Leading off and playing third base, number 19, Wally Backman. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 3, Jay Bell. Hitting third and playing center field, number 18, Andy Van Slyke. Hitting fourth and playing right field, number 25, Bobby Bonilla. Batting fifth and playing left field, number 24, Barry Bonds. Batting sixth and playing first base, number 5, Sid Bream. Hitting seventh and catching, number 12, Mike LaValliere.
Come on. What? Come on, man. Get him going.
Batting eighth and playing second base, number 13, Jose Lind.
That's right.
And batting ninth and pitching for the Pirates in the bullpen, number 17, Bob Walk. Now presenting the Western Division champion, Cincinnati Reds. Introducing Reds manager Lou Piniella. Here is the Reds starting lineup. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 11, Barry Larkin. Second and playing center field, number 22, Billy Hatcher. Hitting third and playing first base, number 23, Hal Morris. Hitting fourth and playing left field, number 44, Eric Davis. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 21, Paul O'Neill. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 17, Chris Sabo. Hitting seventh and catching, number 34, Jeff Reed. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 7, Mariano Dopkins. And batting ninth and pitching for the Reds in the bullpen, number 27, Jose Rijo. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise, face the American flag in center field, and join Capitol recording artist Lee Greenwood in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
They turn the balloons loose. They're turning the butterflies loose. We'll return to Riverfront Stadium after this word from your local station. A pretty sight from high above, and we're very, very close to game time here. Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. James Brown has been baseballing it here for the last couple of days. Take it away, JB.
All right, Jack, thank you very much. And as far as the last word is concerned, I talked with both Barry Bonds and Eric Davis just a few minutes ago, and I guess the common thread between these two players is that they're remarkably calm and relaxed. Barry Bonds said, JB, I got to be honest with you, I'm not accustomed to playing baseball at this time of the year. Ever since playing Little League ball, high school, and of course in my short tenure here with the Pirates, I'm used to being home watching football around this time of the year. I'm relaxed, and I play my best baseball when I am relaxed. Now, loose is hopefully the operative word as far as Eric Davis's banged up left shoulder is concerned. I talked to him after batting practice. He said it's only about 70% right now. That injured right knee of his will require surgery at the end of the season. But he said, hey, fella, just like the starting time of tonight's game, this is prime time, and the show will go on, and I certainly hope to play a starring role. Let's go back upstairs to Jack and Tim.
Yeah, JB, I must have talked with Eric Davis a little later than you. He said 75%. He's ready to go. We'll be back here in a moment.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 1 of the 1990 National League Championship Series is brought to you by today's Chevrolet, who invite you to see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America. AT&T, the right choice. And by Budweiser, with that clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud.
The Cincinnati Reds are taking the field, and a sellout crowd greets them here at Riverfront Stadium. Wonderful night for baseball. We had some rain in the morning. You can see some of the damp spots in the outfield. There's Jose Rijo. He's a 6'2" right-hander, a 14-8 record. Fine earned run average, and a strong pitcher. He had 7 complete games.
Defensively for the Cincinnati Reds, an outfield consisting of Eric Davis in left field, Billy Hatcher, formerly with Houston and Pittsburgh. Paul O'Neill will be the right fielder. At third base, he led all National League third baseman in fielding percentage, Chris Sabo. And his partner at short, Barry Larkin. Mariano Duncan, the ex-Los Angeles Dodger, at second base. Rookie Hal Morris over at first. Jeff Reed behind the plate. And as Jack said, on the mound, Jose Rijo.
Rijo will be facing the Pittsburgh Pirates with Wally Backman to lead it off. Jay Bell is at shortstop. The smiling Andy Van Slyke in center field. Bobby Bonilla in right. Barry Bonds in left. Sid Bream, much underrated at first base. Mike LaValliere, the catcher. Jose Leaned at second base. And Bob Walk on the mound for Pittsburgh. The umpires are Harry Wendelstedt, who is the crew chief. He's working the plate. John McSherry at first, Paul Runge at second, Dutch Rennert at third, Jerry Crawford, the left field foul line, Jerry Davis, the right field foul line, and a member of the ground crew, clad. They're very formal this evening. I guess Lou Piniella threw another base away, huh?
Hey, every time you see a tuxedo, you think of a boxing match. Hope it doesn't turn into one.
Well, that man's wearing tails.
Yeah.
This is a classy endeavor. All you folks sit up straight and watch this game. Here's Wally Backman. You see his batting mark for the year, 292. He's a switch hitter. He likes to bunt the ball. He sprays the ball around the ballpark. He usually platoons at third base with Jeff King. And if the Pirates are ahead, we'll see Jeff King in there for defensive purposes. Rijo can throw hard, and here we go. Over but low for ball one. A lot of folks think this gentleman, Jim Leland, is the manager of the year in the National League. And Lou Piniella certainly kept his ball club hopping all season long. They had a lot of injuries. Piniella did great work. Backman hits it to left field, and there is Eric Davis. That's the way this one starts. It's not unusual for Backman to hit the ball to the opposite field, and the Reds had him played well. Down he goes. So there'll be no bunting by Jay Bell. Every time the leadoff man got on in the first inning, these Pirates bunted in the first inning with this fellow, the former Cleveland shortstop, Jay Bell.
17 sacrifice bunts for Jay Bell in the first inning.
Here's a strike, a blistering pitch from Rijo. We had the fun of being here last Saturday when the Reds learned that they were the champions of the West. Up and in for a ball, 1-1. Bell used to belong to the Minnesota organization, then Cleveland, and now he has rounded out the picture with the Pirates. He doesn't get it. 1-2.
That was the slider from Jose Rijo, a fastball, a slider, and a split finger fastball. That's the tumbler that goes down. It was taught to him by St. Louis Cardinal pitcher Jose De Leon.
The count 1-2 with one out. 2-2 now. A packed crowd on a wonderful evening. We have plenty of sunshine, great autumn weather. As Pat O'Brien set the autumn stage for you earlier in this hour. A bouncing ball to Larkin. 2 out. Larkin to Hal Morris.
Two University of Michigan products. Barry Larkin to Hal Morris. So the University of Michigan should be proud. As a matter of fact, 3 of the 4 members of the Cincinnati Reds infield from the University of Michigan. Chris Sabo, Barry Larkin, and Hal Morris at first base.
Not Mariano Duncan?
No.
There are 2 out here in the first inning. And here's Andy Van Slyke hoping to get something done. Hit 17 home runs during the year. Rijo, not bothered by the circumstance here, has retired the first 2. Backman on a fly to left. Jay Bell on a ground ball to short. And he gets ahead on the count to Andy Van Slyke. Talking with Andy earlier today, and he was referring to Rijo, and he said he loves to throw that slider, but he just gave Andy a fastball, and he let it go by. To the second baseman, Duncan. Down go the Pirates, 1, 2, 3. Bob Walk will go to the hill, and the hometown fans are on their feet. They love it. Here's a picture of a kid taking a picture of us taking a picture as the Reds groom some more baseball fans. On the mound is Bob Walk, the 33-year-old right-hander. Here's the lineup for the Cincinnati Reds. Barry Larkin sometimes hits first, sometimes he hits third. He's leading off tonight. And it is Hatcher, Billy Hatcher in center field. Al Morris at first base. Eric Davis batting fourth, playing left. Paul O'Neill in right field. Chris Sabo at third. And Jeff Reed catching. Mariano Duncan at second base, and Rijo the pitcher. These Reds don't let you up. They don't give you much breathing space up and down their lineup. First pitch from Bob Walk. Breaking ball misses, and that's ball one. Larkin hit .301 during the year with 7 home runs. Ball 2. One thing about Walk, if you start chasing those low sinking pitches of his, you'll make it an easy game for him, but Larkin has laid off the first couple. And he got a strike in there. And Walk usually has good control. This pitcher used to be with Philadelphia and Atlanta, and he has persevered up and down with the minor league teams a couple of times. He's behind in the count, working it into Larkin. And he just missed. 3-1.
Ray Miller, the pitching coach for the Pittsburgh Pirates, has a credo: work fast, change speeds, stay ahead. Pretty good credo for any pitcher.
But Bob Walk won't work quickly. He walks the leadoff man.
A fine defense for the Pittsburgh Pirates includes Barry Bonds in left field, Andy Van Slyke in center. Bobby Bonilla, converted third baseman, is the right fielder. At third base, Wally Backman, shortstop Jay Bell, and Chico Leaned at second base. A fine double play combination. Sid Bream, an excellent defensive first baseman. Mike LaValliere behind the plate, and Bob Walk pitching. And we'll see if Hatcher bunts.
We'll see if Piniella wants to bunt in the first inning. Leland certainly would have. Bob Walk steps off because Larkin has stolen 30 bases this year. And Lou Piniella, he won't sit still very long during the game. He is always on the prowl.
He doesn't want his offense sitting still either. That's why I think you could expect Larkin to be in motion.
And there's a bunt in the first inning. Good play by Walk. And the put out 1-3. Lou Piniella told us that he has been bunting more in September than he had in the early part of the season. He wants to get the lead.
I think an early bunt is more prevalent here in the playoffs because you have Norm Charlton, who was a starting pitcher the second half of the season. Now he's in the bullpen, and Lou Piniella wants to take a lead into the middle innings. And that's why he is bunting here in the first inning.
During the regular season, Cincinnati bunted only 3 times in the first inning. So they've changed their tune, and the batter is Hal Morris. Look at that batting mark. Morris fouls it back, strike 1. Morris came over from the Yankee organization with Lou Piniella and the general manager of this team, Bob Quinn. They knew something. They brought a good one with them. This batter really strides into the ball. If you can, watch his front foot as he hits. Runner at second, 1 out. Ooh. Is Walk having a little problem out there? He walked the leadoff man. He is 1-1 on Morris.
Well, that's not a big deal right there. I think he was trying to grip a split finger fastball, and it just got away from him. That happens sometimes with that splitter. He doesn't throw the splitter as often as Rijo does, but he'll throw it occasionally. Only when he's ahead for both pitchers.
Ray Bell in behind the runner, and Larkin gets back. Bell, the shortstop, is working a little bit out of position, trying to keep him close.
That's a daylight play. When a pitcher sees daylight between the shortstop and the runner at second base, he wheels and throws to the vacated base, and the shortstop should be there.
And it's over with low to Morris. So after walking Larkin, Bob walks behind on the count here at 2-1. Jim Leland has had a tough season. Trying to keep that pitching staff together, trying to mold a bullpen crew. He's had some wonderful players to help him during the course of the season. Ball 3. Well, we may get an early line on Eric Davis. He's batting in the number 4 spot as the runner at second, 1 out, first inning. Pirates went down in order. There's Ray Miller, that's the pitching coach. Pointing out to Mike LaValliere, who's doing the catching. 3-1. And a base hit. The runner may not try to score. Barnes has a great arm. 1-0 Cincinnati.
Getting burned here, falling behind Morris, and Morris not trying to pull the ball, laces it to left field. An outstanding jump by Barry Larkin. Barry Bonds, the left fielder with 14 assists on the regular season, and that ball tailing away from LaValliere, and Larkin scores easily.
And now Morris runs the bases. He has stolen 9 this year. Well, the Reds got what they wanted. A leadoff walk, a sacrifice, and the early lead. There's Barry Larkin. He did get a great jump. That was fine coaching that sent him on by Sam Palazzo at third. And now a walk gets behind this batter. Third base coach is Sam Palazzo, and he was not intimidated by the throwing arm of Bonds. He sent him home, and the Reds lead 1-0.
That's because Barry Larkin had a good jump at second base. If he doesn't get a good jump at second, he's held at third with 1 out and Davis batting.
Reagan ball, base hit. Morris goes on to third. Bonilla boots the ball. Here comes the second run. The batter to third. 2-0 Cincinnati.
Davis breaks his bat on this fastball away, hits it on the end of the bat. I believe it's going to be an error on Bobby Bonilla. It's a double and an error, RBI for Eric Davis, as Morris scores easily. You notice Sam Palazzo had come up the line and was waiting to see how the play developed. And once Bonilla dropped the ball, Palazzo kept Morris coming. And as importantly now, Davis is at third base with only 1 out.
Jim Leland with a quick word for his pitcher, Bob Walk, who's given up 2 hits and a walk in this inning.
It's funny, Jack. Lou Piniella told us before the game that he wanted his hitters to work deep counts against Walk. Barry Larkin saw 6 pitches. He walked. Hal Morris saw 5 pitches after the sacrifice, and Eric Davis hit a 1-0 pitch. So Lou Piniella having his hitters do exactly what they should be doing so far.
And the batter O'Neill could get that third run home very easily. There's ball 1. With the shortstop and the second baseman playing deep, the Pirates are conceding the third run on a ground ball. There's a strike call by Harry Wendelstedt, 1-1. Ground ball to second or short, gets a run home.
Yeah, they're in tight at third base, and Sid Bream at first base is shallow also.
ball 2, 2-1. That's what Tim was talking about. These pitchers are not going up there flailing away at whatever walk throws up there. Eric Davis at third, 1 out. There's a strike, 2-2.
I think as much as anything, playing the infield back here in the first inning, Piniella did not agree with Harry Wendelstedt. But when you play the infield back, you're already down by 2 runs. That's really a credit to your offense. Jim Leland with a lot of confidence that the Pirates can score in bunches.
Breaking ball, base hit. That makes it 3-0. A double for O'Neill with 1 out, and the Reds are rocking. Three hits in the first inning, plus the leadoff walk. So the Reds sacrificed, and they got more than 1 run. Batter is Chris Sabo. Sabo bunts and fouls the ball.
Now that's a bad play. That's a momentum stymier right there. I mean, here you've got all the momentum in the world. You've got a man in scoring position, and to bunt him over to third for the bottom part of the lineup, bad play by Chris Sabo.
Especially with a slow runner like Jeff Reed coming up next, a double play man.
That's right. Neil Heaton, the left-hander now, up and throwing for the Pirates.
3-0 Cincinnati. O'Neill at second, 1 out. There's a strike on the half swing. Strike 2 to Sabo. The leading home run hitter on the Cincinnati club with 25.
Another reason why he shouldn't be bunting there.
Lots of reasons. Walk could certainly use another out somewhere along the way here. Breaking ball is hit to short. Bell for the second out. The runner to third. So Chris Sabo didn't get the RBI. And Bob Walk might wriggle out of this first inning. 3 runs on 3 hits for the Reds. The batter is Jeff Reed. He and Joe Oliver do the catching for Cincinnati. Reed's a left-handed batter. Oliver a right-handed batter. Runner at third, O'Neill. 2 out. And finally Bob Walk gets ahead on the count.
About a decade ago, Bob Walk started the first game of the World Series for the Philadelphia Phillies. He has never been beaten in this ballpark. 7-3 lifetime against the Reds, but 4-0 here at Riverfront.
And a tough first inning for the Pirate right-hander who pumps another strike in there. Strike 2.
That start in the World Series, by the way, the last time he pitched for the Philadelphia Phillies. He was traded the next spring.
As you saw, he was hot during September, having allowed only 3 runs in his last few outings. Gives up 3 here in the first. Ball 1. 1-2. That's O'Neill. Paul O'Neill. He's from up the street here in Columbus, Ohio. And Jeff Reed. He bounced around with a few clubs, the American League and in Montreal, and happy to be on a winner here. Started to go, held up. It's 2-2. Walk to Larkin, a sacrifice, RBI single by Hal Morris, RBI double by Davis, RBI double by O'Neill. Sabo grounded out, and it's up to Jeff Reed to keep the inning going for Cincinnati. Walk's thrown 25 pitches already, and he's struck him out. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 1 left, 1 inning. 3-0 Cincinnati on top. Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati, where the hometown crowd was thrilled by a 3-run rally in the first by the Reds.
That included the first run of the game scored by Barry Larkin. We talked about how Sam Perlazzo, the third base coach, went up the line when he was trying to score Hal Morris. Well, when the ball is hit to left field, the third base coach is more on the bag so the runner can see him.
Bobby Bonilla leads it off. Ball 1.
When that ball's hit to the other side, you see more third base coaches come up the line, but not when the ball's hit to left field.
Now Bonilla spins away from ball 2. It's a tough chore to spot Rijo 3 runs. And it's a joy for him to pitch to Bonilla leading off in an inning. And he pumps a strike in there, 2-1. Rijo from the Dominican Republic. Bobby Bonilla is from New York City. Pitch dips low, and it's ball 3. Is he going to issue an invitation with a leadoff walk here? And a foul makes it 3-2. This group of Pirates can score some runs. Tim McCarver said it earlier. Don't count them out just because it's 3-0. They have a good run-scoring ball club.
120 RBIs by Bobby Bonilla, 113 for Barry Bonds. Both scored over 100 runs. Andy Van Slyke, 77 RBIs. They have some run producers.
3-2 and a foul on a breaking pitch.
The total base leaders in the National League, look at the year that Ryan Sandberg had. And second, Bobby Bonilla, 20 behind.
3-2 pitch. He hits it to third, and a good play by Sabo. Can he? He did. Bet Sabo was a bit surprised the ball was hit in that direction.
Well, it was a cue shot, and that ball with a lot of spin on it. Sabo had to wait until the hop developed, and then by the time he made the throw, he gets Bobby Bonilla. Most left-handed batters who run rather well would have beaten that out, but Bonilla with only fair speed. Good play by Sabo.
Barry Bonds high and away to him. Ball 1. Most people that I've spoken with, in fact, Andy Van Slyke, his teammate, is one of them, thinks that Barry Bonds is going to be the MVP. Foul ball, 1-1. He certainly has some credentials.
Similar numbers to Sandberg and Bonilla, Darryl Strawberry of the Mets, but the big thing that makes Barry Bonds stand out, his stolen bases.
And his defense. Outstanding left fielder, perhaps the best in the league. He pops that one up for the second out. Sabo wants it. 2 out. And the Cincinnati hurler has been perfect so far. Rijo has set down 5 in a row. Wish you could all meet this fellow. He's a happy, smiling, wonderful fellow with a great pitching arm and a fine attitude for the game. He has set down 5 in a row, and he'll tackle Sid Bream. This Pirate batter is one who has had 3 knee operations. Had a tough spring. Strike from Jose.
Sid had all 3 operations last year, as a matter of fact. He came back very slowly, a tough first half, still rehabbing that knee. Ended up with 67 RBIs. You talk about Van Slyke and Bonilla and Bonds, but here's Bream with close to 70 RBIs.
And his teammates think that these days he's the best defensive first baseman in the National League.
Certainly among them.
0-2. 1-2. 2 out. Crowd very comfortable. A little sweater or a windbreaker perhaps. 1-2 pitch. And he fouled that one out of play.
Rijo with 2 types of split finger fastballs. One that he holds on the ends of the fingers, and the other he chokes almost like a fork ball. We'll see if Sid gets it here.
Foul on a half swing, and that probably was that split finger delivery. I'll bet the Pirate fans are hoping that Bob Walk has better stuff when he works to the Reds in the second inning. And another foul, and a very good pitch, and he spoiled it. Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati. We're right on the Ohio River, the first game of the National League Championship Series. The Reds got 3 runs on 3 hits in the first inning. Tim McCarver and Jack Buck with you. And Sid Bream needs another bat in the first inning. RBIs by Hal Morris, Eric Davis, Paul O'Neill.
The hitters will tell you what kind of stuff a pitcher has. Think about it. Andy Van Slyke was jammed. Bobby Bonilla hit a ball off the end of the bat. Barry Bonds was jammed and popped it up weakly left side. And now Sid Bream breaks his bat. So Rijo is throwing very hard and working both sides of the plate. That's very important against this Pittsburgh ball club.
1-2. 2-2. Lou Piniella happy to be off to a roaring start. He bunted in the first inning. He didn't fool with us. He didn't kid us. He said he was going to do it, and he did it. Dropped the ball off the glove of the catcher, Jeff Reed.
Everybody in baseball talks about keeping the ball down. That's one of the more overrated things about pitching, I think. I think working both sides of the plate's more effective.
Now he has run the count to 3-2 and leading 3-0. Rijo has got to challenge Sid Bream. Bream hit 15 home runs during the season. Now Morris, as you saw it, a deep first base and very close to the line. You're out. 6 in a row set down by Rijo. Picks up his first strikeout after an inning and a half. 3-0 Reds.
A lot of baseball people are consumed with the notion that this is where you get hitters out. I think that you get hitters out more productively on the inside and outer lanes of the plate. Watch where this slider is to Sid Bream. That was nasty.
A perfect pitch, and here we go with Duncan leading it off, and Bob Walk gets ahead with a breaking ball. From the bottom of the second, 3-0 Cincinnati. The help of a walk and an error. And not many baseball clubs have a number 8 hitter with these statistics. 306 average, 10 home runs. And strike 2.
Talked about balance throughout the Reds lineup. I don't think anything shows their balance any more than the 8-hole. 16 home runs, 84 runs batted in for Cincinnati's 8th place hitters this year. That leads the major leagues.
Duncan hits it up the middle, leaned, ranges to his right, and gets him 1 out.
I think range means limitations. When you watch Chico Lean play, it's almost at his limitations. As Danny Ozark once said, the manager of the Phillies, his limitations are limitless. He goes to his right. He and Roberto Alomar of the San Diego Padres with that terrific range to the right. Nice play, Lean.
Rijo has had 10 base hits this year. Not what you consider a good hitter, but he's big and strong, and he takes a whack at it. And Bob Walk gets strike 2. Walk is in a better groove. Can't tell me these players don't have butterflies at the start of action of this magnitude.
There's more pressure in the National League and American League Championship Series than there is in the World Series, by far.
With 1 out, he tried to bunt. We have seen him beat bunts before, but he is out tagged by LaValliere. Second strikeout by Walk. The 3 runs in the first by the Reds tied the National League record for most runs in the first inning of Game 1. The Reds did it here. The Giants did it against the Cubs last year, and the Pirates did it against the Reds in 1972. And that pleased Lou Piniella. There's Paul O'Neill, 21. Tom Browning to his right. And Browning will be pitching here late tomorrow afternoon in Cincinnati. Larkin started the first inning with a walk. They spun him along, and all heck broke loose as far as the Pirates were concerned. Walk has been ahead of all 3 hitters in this inning. Larkin had 185 hits this year, the most on the Cincinnati club. hits it to third. That's fair. I don't think Backman can throw him out, and he got him. Boy, there was a brilliant play by Backman, who doesn't have a great reputation at third base, but he did it that time. After 2, Cincinnati 3, and the Pirates nothing.
Rolaids is proud to announce the 1990 National League Rolaids Relief Man of the Year, John Franco of the New York Mets.
And Franco, of course, used to pitch for Cincinnati, but then he came over here. He went back to New York in exchange for Randy Myers, and Franco walked away with those honors. He had a wonderful season. Outdone, of course, by the Pokes in the American League. 3-0 Cincinnati as we go into the 3rd inning. And Mike LaValliere is first up. A lot of ball clubs have 3 catchers on their roster. Both the Pirates and the Reds each have only 2. Ball 1 from Jose Rijo, has retired the first 6 he has taken on.
In the event of an emergency, Luis Quiñones would be the 3rd catcher for the Reds, and Jeff King would be the third catcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Talked to Quiñones about that. He said, "Oh yeah, sure." 2 balls, no strikes to count to Spanky LaValliere. Ball 3. Leading 3-0. Rijo threatens to walk the leadoff man in the 3rd. Ball 4. That's the first man to reach base for Pittsburgh. Well, Barry Larkin got this game off and running with a walk and scored the first run. What are some of your thoughts about Barry, James Brown?
All right, Jack. Well, one of the things that impressed me about Barry Larkin, a true superstar in his own right, is that his bat and glove have helped him to be a superstar on the field, but his intelligence has helped him to a leadership role both on and off the field. As a matter of fact, frustration was what helped him to inspire his team, and I'll tell you more about that in just a second.
And he pumps a strike into Jose Lee.
A station that played funeral music when the team came back from San Diego, having won 2 out of 3 games. Barry said, "Folks, look here, the only funeral we plan on attending is that of the Pittsburgh Pirates and whomever we face in the World Series." Let's go back upstairs to Jack.
Leadoff walk, lean the batter, strike 2 call.
It's anything but funereal here tonight, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we're 3 in the first. The Reds sitting pretty at the moment. There's no doubt that maybe you're right. Larkin is the kingpin of this Cincinnati ball club. Lean hits it fair. Into the corner. Let's see how far LaValliere can come. Having trouble getting the ball back in. Lean goes for 3rd. Both runners will be safe. It's 3-1. As Lean squirted one past Hal Morris. So a leadoff walk in the inning has led to scoring by both teams.
Right inside the bag. First base is a left-handed thrower's position, but this was one of those rare situations where a guy with a glove on his left hand would not have had to cross over like Morris did. The ball hugging the line, played about as well as expected in right field, but a triple for Chico Lean.
Infield is back with a pitcher up there and a foul ball off the bat of Bob Walk. What happened to Paul O'Neill out there in the right field corner?
Problem he had is the problem that most right fielders have, dealing with that wall. Eric Davis hurt himself last Thursday going into the wall in left field, and O'Neill avoiding an injury there.
Strike 2 to Walk. Looked like he tripped over the popcorn out there.
Not yet. Later innings, right?
Jose leaned at 3rd with nobody out.
I'm a little surprised the infield was back too, and now they're being brought in by Lou Piniella with Walk hitting.
Rijo striving for the strikeout, and he gets it. That's his 2nd. And Lou Piniella doesn't like the situation. Walk, who had driven in 4 runs, fails to get that one home, and anything could happen with Backman up there, including a squeeze.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a very interesting situation with the Reds up by 2 here in the 3rd inning. Lou Pinella's keeping the infield in. This is highly unusual, but I guess he's doing it because of the hitter, Wally Backman. Backman does not hit a lot of balls to the right side on the ground, primarily in the air to left.
And a foul ball by Backman. That was his stroke in the first inning when he flied to left field. Leadoff walk. A triple by Lean. And walk fanned, and Backman is trying to make it 3-2.
You almost never see this. A manager having the infield in 2 runs ahead in the early innings. Never.
You're right about that. Let's see what comes of it. 1-1 to Backman. And he can be a tough little guy to strike out. You know he's going to hit the ball someplace. There's the infield playing in. Sabo, Larkin, Duncan, Morris. And a foul ball. Makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Rijo would certainly enjoy the strikeout here.
Well, the thing that Jose was telling us yesterday, we mentioned that Jose De Leon taught him that split finger fastball. That was last year. He said he never throws it for a strike. So if you're Jeff Reed, you got to really be alive if it is the split finger, because that ball in the dirt could be tough to handle.
Rijo has only thrown 2 wild pitches this year. Runner at third, 1 out. 1-2 the count. You're out. Third strikeout for Rijo.
In big cities nowadays, you often get gridlock alert. This was a gridlock alert. You see how Backman was locked on that fastball on the hands. So instead of going to the split finger, they went with the fastball, and there again, the inside part of the plate. Rijo is sharp tonight.
So it'll take a 2-out something by Jay Bell to add another run for Pittsburgh. Ball 1. These are situations that kill you in baseball. Runner at third, 1 out, you don't get him home. Then on the other hand, if a fellow like Bell were to pick up that runner, it really gives your club a lift with a 2-out hit. Bell's driven in 52 runs this year. Low and away. Ball 2.
Really unusual numbers for Jay Bell hitting in the second spot. He led the Pirates in strikeouts with 109, 39 sacrifices, and yet he scored 93 runs. Those are unusual combinations.
Strike from Rijo. 2-1.
And that again shows you the potency of the middle part of the lineup. When they get those 1 and 2 batters on, usually Van Slyke, Bonilla, Bonds, or Bream bring them in.
These Pirates can score runs. They trail here 3-1. That's a 3-1 count now. And Rijo doesn't want Van Slyke up there in this inning. So the leadoff walk by the Cincinnati hurler has caused him to work very hard in this top of the third. Popped up for Duncan. And the inning is over. The Pirates get 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. 3-1 Reds. We'll return to Riverfront Stadium after this word from your local station. There's a shot from our Goodyear blimp, Full Moon. Now it's a shot from our Goodyear blimp, America, piloted by Captain Aaron Jenkins of Spring, Texas. This is the 30th year that Goodyear blimps have covered Major League Baseball for television. And here we are into the bottom of the third with the Reds on top, 3-1. And Billy Hatcher at the plate. He sacrificed his first time. It's his birthday. And a strike 2 count.
Hey, it's been a very eventful year for Billy Hatcher. He was traded from the Pittsburgh Pirates back in March, and he got the phone call in the hospital while his wife was giving birth to a child. And here today is his birthday. It's been a rather eventful year.
I'll say.
An eventful 1990 for Billy Hatcher.
Cincinnati home crowd. They'll watch the action tonight and tomorrow, and then it'll be Monday and Tuesday in Pittsburgh. Breaking ball from Bob Walk, 2-2.
Funny thing about that trade, the Pirates trading the right-handed hitting Billy Hatcher to the Reds, And then for the first part of the season, into the middle of the season, complaining about not having a right-handed power hitter. And not until they got Martinez did they get one, Carmelo Martinez.
So Hatcher celebrates his 30th birthday by striking out. That's the third strikeout for Bob Walk. And Hal Morris is up. He got the first hit of this game. An RBI single. That's how good a rookie he was with 10 games of 3 hits. Ball 1. Bob Walk is now retired 6 in a row after his first inning problems. Gave up a walk and 3 hits in that opening frame. Morris takes a strike. This city is a beautiful one. They've done a wonderful job downtown. The downtown stadium has helped, and they're really excited about this postseason activity. A short hop to Jose Lee. And that's 7 in a row by Walk and 2 out in the bottom of the 3rd.
Riverfront Stadium here, their first year, 1970, saw the Cincinnati Reds go to the World Series and lose to the Baltimore Orioles. These two teams meeting 4 times in the 70s, 70, 72, 75. All 3 of those series won by Cincinnati. And then it was the Lumber Company in 1979 that came from behind to beat the Baltimore Orioles in the World Series after beating the Reds in the playoffs.
Eric Davis takes a strike. Tim McCarver said earlier that this batter, Eric Davis, can carry a ball club on his shoulders, and he knows it. Hasn't had the best of year, but he's had a good year. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jim Leland warning his pitchers, do not throw a breaking ball in the strike zone to Eric Davis. Try to pitch him above the hands with the fastball. There's Jimmy. And out of the strike zone with the breaking ball. You got to go up the ladder on a hitter like Eric Davis because of that unusual way that he holds the bat.
Mike LaValliere gives the signs to Bob Walk. 2-1 pitch. 2-2 now with a pitch at the knees. Davis has had problems with his knees and lately with his shoulder. Last week he ran into the wall and he scared the heck out of everybody here in Cincinnati when he crumbled to the ground. 2-2. 3-2. They call that the E zone for the Eric zone, I guess. That's where they want him to hit the ball out there in left field.
That's not the end zone for the Bengals, is it?
No, it runs the other way.
Not tonight.
Davis with a 3-2 count and 2 up. Walk's retired 7 in a row. Oh, borderline pitch. Down he goes, 8 in a row, 4 strikeouts for Walk. We played 3 innings. Cincinnati leads it 3-1.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 1 of the 1990 National League Championship Series is brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We build excitement. The companies of the Prudential. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the rock. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
We're into the 4th inning and due up for Pittsburgh. The big guys, Andy Van Slyke, Bobby Bonilla, and Barry Bonds.
The thumpers in the Pittsburgh lineup, they're all outfielders, and I guess the only comparable outfield in baseball, the outfield with the Oakland Athletics. Henderson, and Canseco, or Willie McGee now.
Or Harold Baines. This is Van Slyke. Grounded out his first time and hits 1 foul to start the 4th inning.
Let's take a look at the comparison of the Pittsburgh outfield compared to the Oakland Athletics. They're better in batting average. They're better in slugging percentage, extra base hits. They're deficient in home runs and stolen bases. But not only comparable, but ahead in 4 of the 6 categories.
Strike 1 to Van Slyke and 1-1. Jose Rijo issued a leadoff walk in the 3rd. And then another Another Jose leaned triple to run home, but the Pirates had a runner at third, one out, and left him there. Ball 2 to Andy. 2-1. Van Slyke's one of the jokesters on this Pirate club. He always gives out with some quotable quotes.
Quotable and notable.
Caught the corner. 2-2.
That's what Rijo is trying to do. He's trying to crowd Van Slyke. Andy, a good low ball hitter. And that's where you try to pitch low ball hitters, is inside. They usually don't have as quick a bats as high ball hitters. Therefore, you can get inside on them.
2-2 pitch. And the 4th strikeout of the game for Rijo.
Now that disappearing slider to Andy Van Slyke. And again tight. And Andy swinging over that pitch.
So the leadoff man is gone, and Bonilla bats with the bases empty as he did in the 2nd inning. Ball 1 just misses. Reds got 3 in the 1st, Pirates 1 in the 3rd, and now we're in the 4th inning with 1 out. Strike call. Strike 2 call.
You see how he's trying to crowd those left-handed hitters. A lot of pitchers are afraid to come inside the power hitters because if you make a mistake in there, that's a long ball. But most power hitters like to extend their arms. See if he stays in there. They may waste one away and then go back in there.
Spun him off the plate. 2-2. On the bench, it's Bob Walk. He's settled down after a tough 1st inning and has retired 8 in a row. That's a foul ball, keeping it 2-2 with 1 out.
Another bat. Firewood.
Rijo is breaking some bats. At the conclusion of today's game, Tim McCarver and I will select the Chevrolet most valuable player of the game. Chevrolet will then donate $1,000 in the player's behalf to the Special Olympics. Who will it be? 2-2 to the batter. Fly ball into left center, slicing toward Davis. He has it for the 2nd out. 5 in a row set down by the Cincinnati hurler. We're in the top of the 4th here at Riverfront Stadium. First game of the LCS. And the Reds are leading by the score of 3-1. Nice comfortable evening. Capacity crowd, of course. And Jose Rijo getting along very well. Bonds popped out to 3rd his first time. And ball 1. Some figures compiled by Barry Bonds, including 52 stolen bases and #1 in slugging percentage in the National League. And became only the 2nd man to be a part of that 30-50 club. More than 30 home runs and more than 50 stolen bases.
Only other guy to do that, Eric Davis, did it for the Cincinnati Reds back in 1987. What a talent this young man is.
So we have the both of them on the playing field here tonight. 3-1. Rijo allowed only 10 home runs all year. 197 innings. He walks Bonds with 2 out. That's the 2nd pass by the Cincinnati pitcher. And even though they're trailing, we might see some running on the part of Bonds.
Jose Rijo, the son-in-law of Juan Marichal, the Hall of Famer, and Barry Bonds, the son of Bobby Bonds. And Marichal and Bobby Bonds used to be teammates with the San Francisco Giants.
So we have the family connection and a good lead by Bonds. And the runner back. Jeff Reed is the catcher. Joe Oliver, the other catcher, is deemed to be a better thrower than Jeff Reed.
That's why Rijo very concerned with Bonds. Rijo led the National League in pickoffs with 6, 4 at first, 2 at second. Barry Bonds once again with those 52 stolen bases. He was caught 13 times.
Runners at first, 2 out. Three to 1 Cincinnati, 4th inning. Tying run at the plate, Sid Breen. That was close. John McSherry, the first base umpire. Lou Piniella told Tim and me before the game that he was going to do this a lot.
4 times has Rijo thrown to first, and I'll tell you, that was a very close play.
Save, save, save. He made it close again.
Too close for Lou Piniella. And here it is once again. Barry Bonds continues to go back standing up. I think the tag was between the legs instead of on the right leg. Yep, he was safe. He made the tag.
McSherry got it right.
Right.
But they're sure giving Bonds a workout with 2 out at first. Rijo's thrown over there 5 times. 6.
Interesting when you talk about the styles of base runners. Ricky Henderson always diving back into the base. Barry Bonds, one of the few good base runners, 7. We had the pickoff attempt count on. But Bonds, one of the few base runners that goes back in standing up to steal as many bases as he does. Lou Brock used to do that. Ricky Henderson not too far behind Lou either.
And they'll go into that baseman standing up and try to make them miss the ball if they can. First pitch to Breen, and that's ball 1. With 2 out in the 4th. Breen hit 15 home runs this year. Former Dodger. Bonds has shortened his lead. And a foul makes it 1-1.
Bonds started off with 1 foot on the turf, and his last lead, both feet on the dirt. That's what those pickoff throws to first will do for you. So an 80%. Every 5 times he went, he was successful 4.
Another throw over there. And Slight struck out. Bonilla flied out. Bonds walked. And Rijo has been throwing over there time and again. 1-1 to Breen. Rijo being very stubborn about it. Get that sign from the dugout or Rijo to throw over there. Fly ball high to right. How deep is that one? I think we're tied. Home run by Sid Breen, and it's 3-3. A walk and a home run, a nasty combination when you're rooting for Cincinnati.
With Barry Bonds at first base, and when that happens, you forget about the guy who can hurt you, and that's a guy with the stick in his hand. Paul O'Neill, a couple of steps back, he knew it was gone, but speed certainly had something to do with power in that particular instance.
Now a strike to LaValliere, who walked and scored his first time. So 2 of the 3 Pittsburgh runs have come because of walks. And now strike 2. Sid Breen. A long way back for him after those knee operations, and he has a moment here in league championship play. And wasn't Piniella hot about the umpire not calling Bonds out on that other play? The We saw the replay, and John McSherry umpiring there got it right.
But the very fact, I think, that Jose Rijo threw over there, he threw 2 pitches home and 9 pickoff attempts. And when you do that, your attention's diverted to the runner and not the hitter.
And LaValliere becomes the 5th strikeout victim for Rijo, but 2 runs on 1 hit for the Pirates are back in the game. Bottom of the 4th, we're tied 3-3. Brace on Sid Bream's right knee. Now watch Sid Bream hit the fastball. And watch his teammates exult in this game-tying home run.
Brace yourself, a tie ball game.
Cincinnati got 3 in the 1st. Here's the ground ball to Jose Lean. Bream hustles back to the base, and the first man, O'Neill, is retired. That's 9 in a row. Sid Bream had those 3 knee operations. I saw him this spring, and he was really struggling trying to play that position. The fans in Pittsburgh were on his neck for being unable to field a ground ball. There's the brace that he wears on that right knee. But he has battled back, and he's had a glorious moment here. 3-3, 4th inning.
That was an interesting graphic. 15 home runs this year, and Pittsburgh's won all games. All 15 games. Never a multiple home run game. Jose Rijo, on the other hand, has only given up 10 home runs in 192 innings.
Oh, the first home run of the playoff goes to Sid Bream, and Sabo took the strike, and now strike 2. He grounded as short his first time. And Bob Walk's teammates have pulled him right back into this contest. 1-2. He has set down 9 in a row. Sabo would try to snap that string. Former Rookie of the Year in the National League. He hits it into center for the 4th Cincinnati hit of the night. Off the end of the bat, but a base hit, hustling for 2. Out! They'll argue with Runge down there. Was worth a try, Tim.
With 1 out in the bottom part of the order coming up, I think Sabo was complaining about his hand being on the bag when the tag was made. Van Slyke makes a perfect throw, and Jose Lean applies the tag, and Sabo was right.
Sabo was right. But the play went 8-4, and he's out. 2 gone. Umpires have already had some tough calls to make this inning. Jeff Reed is up, and there's ball 1. There's Paul Runge, the umpire, made the call at second base. His father, Ed, was a long-time American League umpire. 2 out, base is empty. And a broken back ground ball to Jay Bell. No runs, 1 hit, and out trying to stretch it. Nobody left. We've played 4 innings. Who say the fans? We're tied 3-3.
Sometimes it's more understandable an umpire could miss a call because they're deceived. Watch all the dust that comes up when Lean goes for the tag. The ball beat the runner, and even though Sabo was safe, clearly it looked like all that dust coming up. You couldn't really have a good shot at Sabo getting the hand in there, and it's understandable that Runge missed it.
And that brought us to the 5th inning, tied 3-3. Here, the foul ball out of play. Lou Piniella is a fiery sort of person. He's chomping on that gum. He's been hot about a couple of occurrences here. There's Paul Runge, the second base umpire. Lean runs the count to 1-2. He tripled home a run in the 2nd inning. Chico, they call him. Dorado, Puerto Rico. One and 2, and a foul keeps him up there.
I'm a little surprised at the outfield alignment of the Cincinnati Reds. They're playing Lean about straight away, even though the center fielder, Billy Hatcher, is shaded toward right center. Lean, the right field hitter.
Foul ball on that half swing. A lot of clubs play more around to the right than that. Doesn't turn on the ball very often. Lean has 1 home run.
Yeah, the opposite field plays Lean like the opposite field plays Wally Backman. They're similar hitters, even though Wally's a left-hander, Lean's a right-hander.
And another foul by Lean, who's making Rijo work. The pitcher will follow Bob Wark and then Backman.
Generally speaking, Lean will only pull the breaking ball, and Backman only pulls the breaking ball. They both love to hit the other way, like Lean did with the triple inside the first base bag.
He drove him off the plate, 2-2. There's Bob Walk. He will bat next. 3-3 the score, 5th inning, first game. Lean leading off. Second baseman. That's Duncan. And 1 out. James Brown has an interesting guest down on the playing surface. JB.
All right, Jack, I'm standing here with Dave Rose, the younger brother of Pete Rose, and certainly that's a subheading to the success that the Reds have enjoyed this year, the fact that your brother put the nucleus of this team together. When was the last time you talked with him, and has he been following the Reds?
He follows them through the newspapers, and obviously your game of the week down there. They don't have cable, where's that? We sent him the clippings and everything, and he's going to be a Reds fan. He always was a Reds fan. He always will be a Reds fan.
Well, I know quite a few of the players, Jose Rijo and Sabo and all, have been talking about they haven't forgotten your brother. More importantly, how's his recovery coming? How's he handling the time in prison right now?
He's doing well. He accepts what he did. He knows he did wrong, and he's paying his debt to society. And all he wants to do when he comes out is, I don't want to say a second chance, but people to forgive and forget sometimes, and he'll start all over again. He'll be Pete Rose again in baseball, I guarantee it.
All right, this is Dave Rose, Pete Rose's younger brother. Let's go back upstairs to Jack and Tim.
Okay, JB, and there's Fay Vincent, the commissioner of baseball, enjoying the proceedings here this evening at Riverfront Stadium. 3-3 the score, 1 out in the 5th, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Bob Walk. And the count goes to 2-2. Pete Rose has a distinct impact on some of these players who are performing for the Reds now. People like Chris Sabo and Barry Larkin and Paul O'Neill and Eric Davis. A lot of Pete Rose around here. 2-2. Foul ball back here. Keeps the count the same. Leadoff man has been retired here in the 5th. Walk chases a high pitch and becomes the 6th strikeout victim for Rijo.
You know, Ron Oster is one guy who thinks that Pete Rose is responsible for building this team, but not all the players do. Rob Dibble is one. He says that now Lou's the manager. He's not a hero. He's not a legend. He's just the boss. Rob Dibble saying that when Pete was with the ball club, they were Pete Rose's Reds, and Pete Rose and the Reds, and now they're Lou Piniella's team, and because of that, it's allowed the team to play a little looser.
And things have changed. There's no doubt about that. And Piniella has taken over as the boss. Here's a strike to Backman. Fly to left, struck out. There's Dibble on the bench down there about whom Tim was talking.
Bit of a surprise for Rob to speak his mind, huh?
Oh, yeah. With 2 out, Backman takes the ball. Dibble, by the way, continues to say that he wants to be a closer someplace or to be paid accordingly as a setup man.
Quite open about it.
Count goes to 3-2. Dibble makes $200,000 and the closer here, Randy Myers, makes $875,000. Wally Backman hitting with 2 out, and Dibble wants some of that big money. Backman won't keep you from walking. He doesn't chase many bad pitches. 3-1 the count with 2 gone. Wally didn't enjoy his sojourn to the American League at all. Didn't play much at Minnesota. Rijo with 2 out. Walks Backman. Well, that's his 3rd walk, and the other 2 scored runs. Lavalle walked in the 3rd and scored. There was a walk to Bonds with 2 out in the 4th, and Bream hit the home run, and now a 2-out walk to Backman. He'll draw some throws over to first base also.
Only 6 stolen bases. He doesn't run as well as he used to. Wally Backman, as you see Lou Piniella, Wally Backman was a guy that Jim Leland said was always hurting him when Backman played with the New York Mets. Wally playing in League Championship Series in '86 and '88 with the Mets.
Jay Bell is 0 for 2, and ball 1 from Jose.
And when Leland saw Backman's name on the free agent list this year, he went out and got him, and Backman has done a terrific job.
Bell is a military brat, as they call them. He has moved around the country and the world. That's ball 2, and Rijo causes the stir on the bench of Cincinnati. Tomorrow, starting pitchers are going to be Doug Graybeck and Tom Browning. And everything gets underway at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Pat O'Brien will start things off. One of the nasty boys is in the bullpen, Norm Charlton. And Rijo has difficulty getting the 3rd out here in the 5th inning. Lean grounded out, walk struck out, Backman walked, and it's 2-0. And there's Stan Williams, the pitching coach of the Cincinnati Reds. Well, the American Leaguers have a chance, Oakland and Boston, to rest a little bit till Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. That's a great matchup. Roger Clemens against Dave Stewart.
Bob Welch, the winningest pitcher in the major leagues. The first time a pitcher has won that many since Steve Carlton did it back in 1972. Dave Stewart, 2nd in the American League. I believe it's something like Stewart has beaten Clemens 6 of the last 7 times they've faced each other.
Dick Stockton, Jim Codd, and Jim Gray will have that action for you Saturday at 8 Eastern Time. So a word or 2 for Rijo and a throw to try to get Backman with 2 out.
Tell you, Norm Charlton gets ready in a hurry with Van Slyke coming up, a tie ball game in the middle innings. You might see
an early hook.
Yeah.
3-0.
Yeah, Jay Bell gets on there. Wouldn't surprise anybody to see Lou Piniella make a move with Norm Charlton.
Score tied 3-3, 5th inning. 2-out problems for Cincinnati. Rijo pumps a strike. Now let's see if the Pirates start the runner. Waiting on deck is Andy Van Slyke. Wondering if he'll get to bat in this inning. And if he does, will it be Rijo or Charlton? Backman the runner. Oh, he still got back. He was going the other way. Al Morris, the first baseman, doesn't argue.
You can always tell when a runner is running when that right side collapses. Boy, Backman had second base on his mind. A close play, but he was just back.
Looked like he was suspended in midair for a while. That's a nasty feeling when you're running the bases. And another throw over there. 3-1 the count to the batter.
That is a situation, however, that you cannot be picked off. 3-1, 2 outs. Because you're going to be protected. You're not going to steal the base. The hitter, if the pitch is a strike, it's up to him to put it in play.
Well put. Don't get picked off. And Backman has shortened his lead a little bit accordingly.
There are other situations where that applies also. A hit and run, a 3-2 pitch. Backman back easily that last time.
And a foul ball makes it 3-2. Now Backman will go with 2 out. And let's see if Morris, the first baseman, goes behind him. He should.
Yep, absolutely. 3-2, 2 outs. He should be playing behind Wally Backman. Two
out, 3-2 on the batter. Strange that they're holding him, and they throw over there. That's really unusual. It's almost automatic to put the first baseman behind the runner on 3-2 with 2 out. Not here, not tonight. Runner goes. And a pop fly foul, and Morris chases it and can't. Well, we'll do it again. A lot of times in a spot like this, one of the coaches on the bench will say to the manager, hey, don't you want to drop the first baseman behind the runner?
Well, you know, when he's over there for 3 pitches, you would think it's by design. Maybe Lou Pinella's thinking you got a right-handed hitter up there. The chances are not great for him to go the other way. If it were Van Slyke who could pull the ball, maybe yes, you do that, but not now.
There goes Beckman. There's a strike, and the inning is over. 7 strikeouts for Rijo. And the Pirates strand their second runner of the evening. Into the bottom of the 5th inning we go, and we're still tied 3 apiece.
This game note is sponsored by Budweiser.
Cincinnati bats in the 5th. They got 3 in the 1st against Bob Walk. A walk and 3 hits plus an error. But then Sid Bream in the 4th inning hit a 2-out, 2-run homer. And we're tied 3-3 with Mariano Duncan leading off, showing a bunt and taking the ball. Duncan, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Grounded to second his first time. He'll be playing all the way at second base with Bill Doran out of action, necessitating a back operation. The Reds acquired Doran from the Houston club, and he was hitting a ton. And his back acted up, 1-1. And he went under the knife here 2 days ago. So we feel sorry for Bill Doran, who would have been playing in postseason play in his hometown. And we wish him a speedy recovery and a great year in 1991. 2 balls and a strike to Duncan. This pitcher, Bob Walk, has allowed only 1 base runner since the 1st inning. And on a base hit by Sabo, who was cut down trying for 2. Duncan chops it foul, 2-2. This batter packs a wallop once in a while. He has 10 homers. This is typical of this Pirate club. They fell behind 3-0 in the 1st, but they can do some things. They convinced the National League East. 2-2. 3-2. The walk given up by the Pirate pitcher in the 1st inning is the only free pass he has given. Duncan leading off, and he's struck out. And that is the 5th. No. Yeah, the 5th strikeout for Bob Walk, and he certainly has settled in, Tim.
He's been very impressive since that 1st inning when Cincinnati scored 3 times against him. The only base runner was erased on that good play by Van Slyke.
And he is happy that his teammates, at least for the moment, have taken him off the hook by tying the game. Rijo fanned his first time. Took a strike, and you remember he tried to bunt his first time up. It's from Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. Jose grounds a ball to deep short. Bell cuts it loose. Got him. What a good play by the Pirate shortstop. And Bell was talking with us this afternoon. He said, if I have to cut it loose, I can do it.
This play's by design. You can do this on the artificial surface. A guy who played here in Cincinnati for a long time, Davey Concepcion, made this play very popular. That is by design. The one hopper to the first baseman, and a fine play by Jay Bell, who knows what the artificial surface is because they have it in Pittsburgh.
And Bell can depend on Sid Bream, who is a slick fielding first baseman, to dig that ball out. And of course the obvious is if you throw it over the first baseman's head into the seats, what the heck is he going to do? So as long as you keep it down, keep it in front of him, you got to play, and especially on this turf.
Well, it may sound simplistic, but the lower your throw is, the quicker it gets to the guy you're throwing it to.
Barry Larkin is up. He has walked and scored and grounded to third. 2 out. Ball 1. They call this Ohio's Queen City. It's on the Ohio River. Beautiful downtown area, beautiful ballpark. A lot of friendly people in this territory. Unless you beat their ball club, then they're not so friendly. Here's ball 2.
Talked about it the last time these two teams met back in 1979, and neither team won a division in the 80s. Since 1979, the Reds and the Pirates almost like desert weather. The forecast, dry in the 80s.
Dry in the 80s. High again to Larkin.
1970, that was Sparky Anderson's first year. 1972, the Bob Moose wild pitch scoring George Foster. 75 and 79. Pirates winning 3 in a row.
And Walk couldn't find the strike zone and issues a free pass to Larkin. That's the second walk issued by Walk, both to Larkin.
With the Boston Red Sox winning it last night, that 1975 series, the Reds and the Red Sox, some people consider the best World Series of all time. That famous Game 6 when Carlton Fisk was trying to keep that ball fair and went to 7. And the Reds beat the Red Sox that year. Could be a replay this year.
You see, the outfielders are deep. They don't want this runner to score from first on an extra base hit off the bat of Billy Hatcher. So they're playing straight away and deeper than they ordinarily would. Of course, the left fielder and center fielder can certainly go back on the ball extremely well. And Bonilla is deep and right.
I think it's going to bring him in after Larkin tries to steal second. I think he's going to be going on the first or second pitch.
We'll see what LaValliere, the catcher, can do about that. Runners at first, 2 out. And the walk steps off.
I think if you're a good base runner, the reason you want to steal early in the count, especially with 2 outs, is you give the hitter a chance. He may take 1 pitch, may take 2 pitches, but when you steal early in the count, you get it out of the way and allow the hitter to hit.
The batter is Hatcher. He is sacrificed and struck out. And Larkin hops back in. Tight game. The Reds got 3 in the first. There's LaValliere looking into the bench. There's Jim Leland giving the sign.
Is it a pitch out? Leland calls throws to first and pitch outs, the same as Piniella.
Larkin gets another throw over there. Reds got 3 in the first. Pirates scored a run driven in by Leland in the third. And the 2-run homer by Sid Bream here in the fourth. LaValliere looking to Leland again. First 2 were retired here, and then Larkin walked. And there goes the runner. LaValliere cuts it loose. Save a stolen base.
Larkin with an excellent jump, and he did indeed steal on the first pitch. That head first slide. He had 30 stolen bases in 35 attempts during the season. The biggest impediment for a catcher is when that batter puts the bat in his eyes, and that's what Billy Hatcher did, and that kept LaValliere from going out and making a strong throw to second base. He had that bat right in the strike zone, and it really blocks your vision if you're a catcher. It prevents you from coming out too quickly.
That helps Hatcher's chances of driving home a run. He takes a ball, and it's 1-1. That's the catcher's viewpoint.
Well, watch Hatcher now. He puts the bat right in the eyes of LaValliere, and that keeps the catcher back. A lot of times plays at second base, bang, bang, and the hitter assisting Larkin now.
Larkin started to go to third. There's a ground ball to Bream to the pitcher cover, and the inning is over. The Reds leave a runner. They have stranded 2. We have played 5. We'll return to Riverfront Stadium after this word from your local station. It's 3-3. Downtown Cincinnati revolves around Fountain Square. There's a losing horse from River Downs Racetrack. And we're going into the 6th inning here from Riverfront Stadium, and a shot from high above from our Goodyear blimp. And there are the totals thus far. Cincinnati has blown their 3-run lead.
That's what happens to the losers, huh?
Oh, yeah. They have to get up early in the morning and pull that cart, man. Cincinnati is quite a tourist town. A lot of things to do here, a lot of things to see. The arts play a big part of life here in Cincinnati. Andy Van Slyke takes ball 1 from Jose Rijo. We're underway in the 6th inning. And it's the middle of the batting order for the Pirates. Number 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Rijo struck out 7, walked 3. Pumps one down the middle. You don't see Van Slyke take a fastball like that very often. But Andy has it in his mind that this pitcher throws a lot of sliders. That's what Andy told us today. 1-1. He fouls it away. 1-2. Rijo can throw in the 90s. Taught him to use his legs a lot more. He used to throw around 90. Sometimes he cranks it up to 95 miles an hour. And Slyke, 17 home runs during the season. 0 for 2 tonight. And the count goes to 2-2.
Andy Van Slyke under his cap. That's the cap that he wears on defense. Hy Jr. That's Andy Jr., his son, that accompanied Andy on his last road trip here to Cincinnati. He's not with him tonight, but just wanted to say hi, Junior.
They have 3 boys in the Van Slyke family. 2-2 to Andy. Chased a bad ball off. Foul tip and out. 8 strikeouts for Rijo.
Andy has 3 sons, but the bills aren't big enough to say hi to all of them. Got to almost have a football helmet to do that. This split finger fastball, and Van Slyke swings through it. 8 strikeouts now and 5 1/3 for Rijo.
And he gets the leadoff man in the 6th, then takes on Bobby Bonilla. This will be a tough inning for the Cincinnati pitcher. Ball 1 to Bobby. He's 0 for 2. Grounded to third, fly to left. He likes to hit in this park. This park and Three Rivers Stadium are much alike. That ball into right field for O'Neill. He couldn't get close enough, so he didn't want to play it into a double. He did all he could, and a 1-out single.
The outfielders play balls differently on the artificial surface, because if you charge too closely to the ball, you have one of those high bounces. It's over your head and an extra base hit instead of a single. You have to determine whether you have a shot to catch it in the air, and O'Neill shrewdly pulling up in time.
Yeah, you make up your mind early. I can, I can't. And if you can't, then you have to lay back. And the batter is Bonds. 1 on, 1 out. And a base hit. O'Neill holds him to second base. First hit of the night for Barry Bonds. And of course, the Cincinnati bullpen immediately gets busy. And the fellow we showed you earlier is warming up again, Norm Charlton. 2 on, 1 out.
That's why Jeff Reed, the catcher, is out to talk to Rijo right now. You have 2 left-handers coming up in a row. And I think Stan Williams is the guy who makes the changes here. And if he does walk out there, what Reed is allowing home plate umpire Harry Wendelstedt to do right now. Now he'll walk back home, and now Williams will take the walk, and this will be very slow and deliberate, and then he'll go to the mound and he'll make Wendelstedt go out to bring him back. They're trying to give Charlton as many pitches as he can in the bullpen, and I think he'll make a move right now.
And the batter is going to be Sid Bream, a left-handed hitter, and that's why Charlton is in the bullpen. And after Bream, it's LaValliere, another left-handed batter. So we do have a pitching change, and the best Cincinnati pitcher, Jose Rijo, is leading, and Charlton comes into the game. Unhappy Jose Rijo sitting on the bench, and Charlton pitching to Sid Bream. He throws low for ball 1. Last time we saw Charlton was as a starter in the game last Saturday.
16 starts on the year. His first 40 appearances as a reliever.
And he misses again, and that's ball 2. Sid Bream hit the home run in the 4th with a man on. Against left-handers, he hits pretty much the same as right-handers, and especially when he's ahead on the count. And he took a strike, 2-1. Base hit by Bobby Bonilla with 1 out here in the 6th after Van Slyke struck out, and a follow-up ground ball single by Barry Bonds. 2 on and 1 out. Batter Sid Bream trying to give Pittsburgh the lead for the first time tonight. 2 on, 1 out. Just missed inside. 3-1. There is Rijo. We told you earlier he's a happy fella, but not at this moment. He had a 3-0 lead and let it get away. Bonilla and Bonds on the bases. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, and they're loaded up. Earlier today, as Lou Piniella looks on at the testy situation that he has, and that's the 4th walk given to the Pirates, Jim Leyland was talking about his catchers, and he only has 2, and he's limited, Tim, with regard to the moves he can make.
That's because he's carrying 11 pitchers. Lou Piniella's limited also, but he's limited as far as the moves he can make with the pitcher. And that's why there's not a pinch hitter for LaValliere right here.
You can get LaValliere on a double play if he will oblige. There's ball 1. Bases loaded, 1 out, and Reed to the mound. I know it's a concern here for the Cincinnati fans because their team came into this playoff rather flat with a record of 10-10 in their last 20 games. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, won 11 out of their last 14.
Yeah, Cincinnati started off strong, winning their first 10 games, playing 1 game over 500 since the All-Star game, and as you said, Pittsburgh finishing very, very strong.
Base hit loaded, 1 out. LaValliere corks to first. Might be a double play. There's 1. Out of the inning. We're still tied. 3, 6, 1. The pitcher took the throw.
A strong throw, but a throw that Barry Larkin had to make an adjustment on, and I think that because Charlton's foot was there, he trips LaValliere. But a big double play pulled off by the Cincinnati Reds. Still 3-3. On this play, you've got to remember Norm Charlton, the pitcher, not being a first baseman, has his foot over the bag, and that's what Mike LaValliere trips over. Watch. LaValliere appears to be all right, as does Charlton.
And Bob Walk pitches in the bottom of the 6th. We watched LaValliere run out to the plate here at the start of this inning. Appears to be okay. 3-3 the score. And the leadoff batter is Hal Morris, and the count is 1-1. There with the mustache is the other Pirate catcher, Don Slaught. Jim Leyland told us today I have to be very careful with the moves that I make involving. Here's a line drive and a good play by Backman. Backman timed it well, 1 out. Now the possible double he took away from Hal Morris. Backman has made 2 fine defensive plays tonight.
Wally, normally a second baseman, and you said it was good timing on Backman's part. The natural reaction to a ball hit high is to jump too fast. Backman waited because the ball wasn't hit that hard and made a fine play on Hal Morris's drive.
3-3 in the bottom of the 6th, and ball 1 to Eric Davis, who has doubled, driven in a run, scored a run, and struck out.
Dangerous situation right here for Walk.
With 1 out. He missed with a fastball inside. Ball 2.
See, Davis has faced Walk 2 times through the order. Walk can't get in on the hands like most pitchers try to do. He's not throwing as hard now. Very dangerous situation here.
Ball 3. And he might be swinging on 3-0 because Paul O'Neill, who follows, has not been swinging a hot bat. Oh, he took, and it's 3-1. Seven out of 18 against this pitcher. That's good. On the corner, perfect pitch, 3-2. And the Pirates get some people ready. The left-hander is Bob Patterson, and the right-hander is Stan Belinda. Three and 2 to Eric Davis. It was 3-0. Booted by Breen to the pitcher for the out. Breen jumped right on top of it. Now the throw gets away from Jose Lean as they throw the ball around the infield. Bob Walk made a wild pitch to Jose Lean. Walk did his job of hustling over there. And Davis is 1 for 3. And Paul O'Neill will be up with 2 outs.
Talked about the knee problems that Davis had this year. I think a healthy Eric Davis beats that ball out. Ball bounding that far away from Sid Bream, he would usually beat a pitcher to the bag, a guy like Bob Walk. He's not running like he can.
Paul O'Neill, 2 out of 9 during his career against Bob Walk, and 1 out of 2 tonight. And an RBI double in the first. Ball 1. By the way, this pitcher started in the first inning, giving up a walk and 3 hits. Rather surprising he's still around, but he is. Strike on the corner. So a good moving pitch, 1-1.
Bob Walk's got to have the dirtiest cap in the ballpark, doesn't he? That's a dirty cap right there. Man. Like an infielder.
1-1 with 2 out. 2-1.
Reminded of the National League Championship Series game a couple of years ago when Jay Howell kept going to his hat and pulling that pine tar off, was eventually suspended a game by Bart Giamatti, who was then, of course, the National League president.
O'Neill hits it into left field, and Bonds wants it. Down go the Reds. 1, 2, 3. We've played 6. We're tied 3-3. Norm Charlton is on the mound. Through the course of the year, players have many memorable moments. For Charlton, June 24th.
Coaching third base, I saw that he didn't have the ball yet, and it didn't look like he was close to getting a handle on it anytime soon. So I never even looked at my third base coach. And I hit third and headed for home. And on my way home, I saw that Socha was about to receive the ball, and a couple thoughts went through my head that everybody who slides into Socha just gets crushed. And so the best thing for me to do was try to run him over, and that's what happened.
That was a massive, memorable moment. Here we go into the 7th inning. And Charlton to Lean, and a pop fly to center. Hatcher is there, and that's the way the 7th inning starts. And Lean is 1 for 3. He had driven in a run earlier, and we're going to have a pinch hitter for Bob Walk. Walk is through for the night. He pitched 6 innings. He gave 3 runs on 4 hits. He walked 2. He had 5 strikeouts.
And Gary Ritas as the pinch hitter for Walk. Ritas was 3 for 19 as a pinch hitter. He signed initially with the Reds. And Bob Walk, a good job, especially since 1 out in the first inning.
Ritas is a former Cincinnati player. He's an outfielder first baseman. He platoons at first frequently with Sid Bream. A very fast runner, and one that Charlton would like to keep off the base here in the 7th inning.
Ritas signed with the Cincinnati Reds back in 1978.
Fly Fly ball, and that ball might drop. That's a base hit. Ritas dumps one into right field with one out, and that's the 5th Pittsburgh hit. I wonder if they can see Ritas running the bases down there at first with one out as the shot from the Goodyear Blimp America. 30th year they have covered Major League Baseball for television. And a nice evening to fly around up there for the folks in the Goodyear Blimp. 1 on, 1 out. Now Pittsburgh has out hit Cincinnati 5-4. The batter is due to be Wally Backman. And the Pirate manager, Jim Leland, calls instead for the right-handed batter, Jeff King, the former University of Arkansas player. King got better and better as this year went along for Pittsburgh. And then he'll take over at third base for Backman, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. 14 home runs off this fellow's bat. Charlton pitches. Ritas wanted to go but couldn't time it. This pitcher does not have a good pickoff move to first.
He's a left-hander, and he hesitates with that right foot. Gary Ritas, on the other hand, 11 stolen bases this year, 290 for his major league career.
1 on, 1 out as Pittsburgh tries to grab the lead for the first time this evening. And Ritas walks back in.
See Charlton picking that right foot up. That's what usually will freeze the runner at first base. And this is the view that the runner has. Now, if that right leg goes behind the left leg, he's committed to go home.
He pitches and the runner goes, and the catcher Reed can't throw. Both of these ball clubs inclined to run, and a stolen base for Ritas. There's the lead run.
I think that's exactly what Gary Ritas was looking at. He was waiting to see if the right foot went behind the left leg, and when that happened, he went and had an excellent jump, no throw.
Now the second baseman Duncan has a thought for the pitcher Norm Charlton. Jeff King could be the Pittsburgh hero for the moment here in the 7th. Ritas with a pinch single and a stolen base. No hits off of Charlton for this batter during his career. Ball sinks low. There's ball 3. There's Doug Drabek, the biggest winner in the National League this year, and he'll perform tomorrow. The game at 3 o'clock Eastern time. He'll be opposed by Tom Browning, a left-hander. And they scramble off the bench for Cincinnati. A strike is into the batter, 3-1. Big Rob Dibble starts to warm up in the bullpen. How'd you like to get down there and warm him up? Not me. He gets ready in a hurry. 3-1 to the batter. And a fly ball into right for O'Neill. The runner tags, but stays. 2 out. King, the pinch hitter, is retired. And Ritas stays at second.
Talking about Doug Drabek, Jim Leland telling us before the game that Drabek is so methodical in the way he prepares for his starts that he did not want to take him out of a 4-man rotation or a 5-man rotation. He wanted to give him his complete 4 days. His last start was Sunday. That was the clincher in St. Louis. And because of that, as much as any other thing, he wanted to keep Drabek in that rotation where he got 4 days and not 3 days rest, and that's why he didn't start tonight.
A visit to the mound by the manager, Lou Piniella. Lou told us earlier, and there's Drabek from Victoria, Texas.
Therefore, with Drabek starting on Friday, he will only start 2 games in the playoffs. 2 for Walk, 2 for Drabek, and 2 for Zane Smith.
And if we go 7, Leland had no idea as of today who his 7th game pitcher would be.
Right.
Runner at second, 2 out. The batter is Jay Bell. He's 0 for 3. He could be a hero. Ball 1. Bell grounded to short, popped to second, struck out. He's 4 out of 9 against Charlotte.
That unusual style. It looks like Jay Bell is playing the piccolo when he hits. Leland hopes it's a happy tune.
Ball 2 is low. And his batter keeps that bat right on his right shoulder. Piniella had a 3-0 lead. It's 3-3 here in the 7th. Pittsburgh a runner at second, 2 out. Ball 3. It's Bell against Charlton. Look at the 30 inside the C. That's a salute to Ken Griffey, Sr., who's here at the park tonight. Visited his former mates in the clubhouse before the game. 3-0 the count. Three and 0. Charlton added that other number, 43. I don't know what that is. On 3-0. There's ball 4. There's Leland.
I'll tell you, that other, as you look at Lou Piniella, that's Jim Leland. There's Lou. But that other number, 43, Tim Layana, who was cut from the roster, Lou Piniella said it was one of the toughest things he's had to do all season. So Norm Charlton putting 30 up there for Ken Griffey and 43 for Tim Layana, who was just cut this afternoon.
I'm glad you knew what that was, Tim. It was almost as if Piniella, when he went out to talk to Charlton, said, don't let Bell beat you. Get Van Slyke out. Sometimes that's not that easy. Foul ball, strike 1. A 1-out single by Reedus. A 2-out walk to Bell, which is the 4th walk given to Pittsburgh tonight. Charlton, who attended Rice University, trying to get Van Slyke, who's 0 for 3. Van Slyke has been hot, or was hot, in September. Fly ball into left, and Davis going back. He is there, I think. No, he can't get it. Ground rule double, and 1 run will score. Pittsburgh takes the lead 4-3, and Davis didn't play that one very well.
He started backpedaling too early. And Gary Reedus scores a tie-breaking run here in the 7th inning on a misplayed ball by Eric Davis. I think had he turned the right way and had he kept going after the ball in that fashion, he ends up making the catch. But right there, he starts backpedaling too soon, and the ball eventually over his head. Ground rule double, Van Slyke.
Now Pittsburgh has the lead for the first time.
See, had he kept going, he had the body turned the right way. Had he kept going, he'd have made the catch, but he started backpedaling too soon.
Strike 1 to Bonilla, who could drive in 2 or 3. He already has a hit tonight, 1 for 3. Pittsburgh, after trailing 3-0 after 1, takes the lead here in the 7th, 4-3. And a breaking ball strike. Strike 2 with 2 out. When the Pirates go ahead in the 7th inning like this, it really hurts the Reds because they have that strong bullpen. But if Pittsburgh has the lead, so what with regard to the bullpen? 2nd and 3rd, 2 out, and he struck him out. So Pittsburgh gets 1 run on 2 hits, 2 left. They've left 6. Here's how they did it. A fly ball rather misplayed by Davis. Ground rule double by Van Slyke. 7th inning stretch time, 4-3 Pittsburgh. A lot of things come into play here. Can the Pirate bullpen do the job? We have Belinda out there now.
Belinda, the side armor, and he'll be facing Chris Sabo. I'll tell you, we talked earlier in the game about Eric Davis being the swing man, but we didn't realize it was going to be a swing on a defensive play.
All right, we were thinking offense when we talked in those terms. Here's a foul, and it's right below us here.
Just below us, wasn't it?
Right. I wasn't going to try to get.
Don't charge foul balls.
Okay,
don't charge foul balls. They hurt when they hit.
Tim, can you say definitively Davis should have caught that ball?
I think so.
I do too.
Had he turned the right way, had he kept going that way instead of backpedaling too soon, I think he would have made the play. I think that's what he's thinking right now, too.
1-1 to Sabo. 4-3 Pittsburgh. Bottom of the 7th inning. Sabo has had a hit tonight. Belinda working from the stretch. He got a strike in there. And Sabo goes down. And he's groaning as he walks back to the bench. He didn't think it was a strike.
Notice the pitching style of Stan Belinda. He throws awfully hard. Sabo thought it was high. That is not effective for Belinda to be up that high. We talked earlier about how down is not the best way to get hitters out, in our opinion. But for a sinker baller, it is. Belinda's got to keep the ball down to be effective.
Jeff Reed. Ball 1 back to the screen. Reed is 0 for 2. Well, a lot of you folks remember Ron Howard from his television days, and some think that Stan Belinda resembles him. I guess he does. Hair is a little different color. Belinda, a youngster, here in a pressure situation. He throws ball 2. Of course, they lifted Backman. Jeff King pinch hit. He stays in the game to play third. And he's a better third baseman than Backman is, although Wally made 2 fine plays tonight. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. The big question mark coming into the series, the Pirate bullpen. We'll see how it does. Ball 1, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike. We saw Belinda on a Saturday afternoon on CBS, and he walked the house. Threw a wild pitch and then forced in the winning run. Pops him up into short left field for Bonds. One-handed catch coming up. 2 out. Next Saturday, CBS Sports presents an eagerly awaited college football showdown. Second-ranked Florida State travels to the Orange Bowl, and they'll take on number 10, the Miami Hurricanes. That'll be some battle. Florida State and Miami on CBS Saturday, 2 o'clock Eastern. Mariano Duncan. He's 0 for 2. Off-speed pitch is fouled away. Say this about Jim Leland, Tim. He goes with the people who got him here, including such people as Belinda rather than the veteran Landrum.
That's why he elected to carry all 11 pitchers. He said we would not have won it without the 11 pitchers that we had, and he said from a moral standpoint he didn't think it was right.
There's the strike call.
And Jim, if you know Jim, you know he's not playing the martyr's role. He said, look, these guys got us here. That's why we elected to carry 11 pitchers and 14 players.
And Belinda, one of the 11th. 0-2 on Duncan, and he has a 1-2-3 inning. Now we've played 7, and Pittsburgh's on top, 4-3.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 1 of the 1990 National League Championship Series is brought to you by Toyota's quality line of cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Pizza Hut, winning the hearts of America for over 30 years. Pizza Hut, making it great. And by Toshiba Copiers. Before your copier gets the best of you, get a better copier.
Eric Davis takes his post out there in left field. He's wandering around thinking about that play in the last inning, the 7th inning, when a ball sailed over his head. Here's Charlton pitching, and we're into the 8th inning. And the first pitch, a strike to Barry Bonds. He's had a walk, a run scored, and a base hit. Hasn't done too well against Charlton. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's the last inning of work for this pitcher. He's due to lead it off in the Cincinnati 8th. 2 balls and a strike.
He hasn't done well against Charlton, but his numbers are staggering against left-handed pitchers this year. Against lefties, he leads the majors in RBI.
He corks this one to deep center field, and it chases Hatcher to the wall, and he has it. A big ballpark saved the Reds there, the big center field, that is. He does get a swing against the lefty.
He is as less effective or less rattled against a left-handed pitcher as any left-hander I've ever seen. You talk about a guy who stays in there. At front shoulder is locked. He hits this ball to the wall. 17 home runs against left-handers this year. 58 RBIs again, leading the majors. That includes right-handed hitters also. That includes Cecil Fielder, who had only 54 against left-handed pitching.
And congratulations to Cecil on his wonderful accomplishment. Sid Bream took a ball. And now ball 2. Bream has hit the biggest blow of this game. A 2-run homer in the 4th with 2 out. It tied the game at that time, 3-3. He corks it into right for his second hit. And he might get a double. O'Neill could. O'Neill did. 2 out.
Cincinnati Reds lead the major leagues in outfield assists, and this is one of the reasons. 47 assists on the year, and that throw was perfect. O'Neill played the carom perfectly. The throw was strong, and Sid Bream is an easy out at second. Fine play by Paul O'Neill.
Larkin making the tag, and now ball 1, ball 2 to LaValliere. LaValliere has walked and scored 0 for 2. There are 2 out in the 8th. And that's ball 3.
There it is, Cincinnati with the most assists in the majors, followed by Dante Bichette and the California Angels. What an arm he has. Detroit a real surprise there with 41.
There's a strike to LaValliere, 3-1.
Also only 10 errors made by Cincinnati Reds outfielders this year. Talk about the offensive output of Pittsburgh in their outfield. And defensively, Cincinnati excellent.
Davis waiting for it off the bat of LaValliere, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Bottom of the 8th inning. Pitcher due to lead off, and the Pirates lead it 4-3.
We talked about the fine play that Paul O'Neill made, and it was indeed a good play. Watch the carom and the strong throw to Barry Larkin, and Bream is dead at second base. And then we talked about the superb outfield play of the Cincinnati Reds. Bream an easy out. The irony in this game, it was a misplayed ball by Eric Davis that gave Pittsburgh the lead.
And Pittsburgh has the lead. 4-3, bottom of the 8th. Herm Winningham is the pinch hitter. Former Met, former Expo. And this crowd is roaring. They don't want to lose here on the opening night of the LCS. 4-3 Pittsburgh. They about hit the Reds 7-4. And we get the reaction from the crowd. Winningham, a fast runner. They'd love to get him aboard. Belinda set the side down in order in the 7th. Fly ball is centered. And Slike is there. 1 out. 4 in a row by Belinda. Cincinnati was off and running in this game with 3 runs in the very first inning, plus a walk, plus an error. And then Sid Bream tied the game in the 4th with a 2-out, 2-run homer. Then Davis misplayed the fly ball by Van Slyke, and Pittsburgh went ahead. And that was in the Pirates' 7th. There's Davis, 44. He wants a chew or some gum or something. Leadoff man gone in the 8th, and Barry Larkin is up. That's low. Larkin's been on base twice by walks and a stolen base and a run scored. Sometimes in a spot like this, Larkin will crank it up and try to hit the ball out. He's hit 7 home runs. Third baseman dares him to bunt. He was jammed and hit it back here. 1-1.
Not only have Jeff King playing shallow at third base, But Barry Bonds, the left fielder, is also playing shallow. Now this is the pull position, late innings, a one-run game. Most of the time you play deeper, but Bonds daring him to hit the ball over his head.
With one out, Larkin swung right through it, and he's in the hole, 1-2.
Tell you, Belinda is blowing.
He has had 8 saves. Lou Piniella trying to wrangle a run out of his group. 1 ball, 2 strikes. High and away, 2-2.
Big difference between the Pirates and the Reds. Randy Myers, occasionally Dibble, are the closers for the Reds. Pittsburgh has 6 pitchers who have saves. 6.
Larkin hits it into right field. There's Bonilla. This ball's trouble, and it is caught for the out by Bonilla for the second out. And that's 5 in a row retired by Belinda.
The outfield shading Larkin around toward right field as much because of Belinda's velocity as anything. Bonilla, fine play in right field, but he was positioned properly.
And now there are 2 out in the Cincinnati 8th as the Pirates lead 4-3. And here is Billy Hatcher. 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. Reds have only 4 hits. Ball 1. They got the 4 hits off Bob Walk. And none off Belinda. Now 1-1, and Walk, after giving up 3 in the first, will be the winner if Belinda or whoever finishes does his job. We're at Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati. The Pirates have out-hit the Reds 7-4, and Pittsburgh scored a run in the 7th to enjoy a 4-3 lead. Belinda has retired 5 in a row and pitches to Hatcher. Caught the corner. He's ahead on the count, 1-2. Lou Piniella pacing. He's going to be facing the best Pittsburgh pitcher tomorrow in Doug Drabek.
Will probably win the Cy Young Award and would love to come back in this game. The Reds have been anemic since the first inning. Only 1 hit since the first inning.
Breaking ball got Hatcher. That's 6 in a row retired by Belinda, who gets his 2nd strikeout. We've played 8 and the Pirates lead 4-3. Well, not everybody's at the ballpark tonight, despite this attractive game. 4-3 Pittsburgh going into the 9th.
About 450 miles north of here, the confluence of the Allegheny, the Monongahela formed the Ohio, and that was a different type of confluence we just saw.
Yeah, from the Kentucky side of the river.
Right. Yeah.
4-3 Pittsburgh into the 9th. The new pitcher is Rob Dibble. How'd you like a fastball? Into the booth right next door. That's the way. Keep it over there. Dibble, the 3rd pitcher of the night for Cincinnati. Charlton pitched 2 2/3, 1 run, 3 hits. And Lean couldn't catch up with that one either. Strike 2.
You saw that key number right there. How about that? Career against Rob Dibble, 5 for 6.
Unbelievable.
Bet he hasn't pulled many of those. He's a right field hitter anyway. 95-mile-an-hour fastball from this guy.
He starts to swing when Dibble starts to wind up. Swing, Jose. 0-2. And off the end of the bat, it's still strike 2.
You saw the numbers on Rob Dibble, 68 appearances and only 11 saves. That's what we were talking about earlier. They don't give money, and that's really the most blatant way to say it, for holes and squander to middle relievers. They give it for guys who save, and Dibble with only 11 saves and 68 appearances.
Jose Lean started Pittsburgh on the comeback trail with an RBI triple in the 3rd inning. Made the score 3-1 at that time. Bream homered in the 4th. Pirates took the lead in the 7th, and now we're in the 9th. And low and away to Jose. 2-2. Dibble following Rijo and Charlton to the mound. If it stays as is, Charlton will lose. Bob Walk will win. And they're going to be batting for Stan Belinda next. 2-2 to lead. And he got it. Didn't start that swing soon enough. 1 out. Colleen, number 13, back to the bench and to the plate for the Pirates. A wonderful guy, former Dodger. R.J. Reynolds will bat against Rob Dibble. He'll bat for Belinda. He's a switch hitter.
He came with Sid Bream in the Bill Madlock trade 5 years ago. Boy, they have been productive for Pittsburgh for 5 years. Shoes, his teammates call him.
And a strike to him.
And the reason for that is about 300 pairs of shoes. He likes shoes, you know.
He's batting with 1 out. And a ball. How about those shoes? He hopes they're made for running. He's batting here in the 9th for Pittsburgh. 1 out. And a strike as Dibble blows the ball in there. 1-2.
And here you've got Stan Belinda, who has worked 2 perfect innings, striking out 3, and Jim Leland's making a move. That's what he told us he was going to do. He doesn't care who finishes the game.
He has a variety of people out there in the bullpen. Reynolds couldn't catch up with it either. 2 strikeouts for Dibble.
I think what Leland is feeling right now and thinking about right now, he'll probably bring the left-hander in to pitch to Hal Morris and then bring the right-hander in to pitch to Eric Davis. Paul O'Neill, the other left-hander. But Belinda throwing very, very hard. Worked 2 perfect innings.
Jeff King 0 for 1. Pops it foul. Strike 1. Belinda was terrific. Belinda pitched 2 innings. No runs, no hits. He struck out 3 and walked none. There he is with the Burr haircut. Ron Howard of baseball. 2 out in the top of the 9th. There's the bullpen. And it's Landrum, number 43, the right-hander, and now the left-hander, Bob Patterson, warming up. Low from Dibble. Earlier, they had Ted Power warming up, along with Bob Kipper.
He's got another left-hander for Paul O'Neill if he likes. He has 5 left-handers in the bullpen. 11 pitchers on the Pittsburgh roster.
Here's a high foul ball, and it comes out of play. Makes it 1-2 on the batter King, and a chance for Dibble to strike out the side. How does it look from upstairs in the Goodyear blimp? Nobody's leaving this ballpark. Their Reds are trailing 4-3 here in the 9th. Captain Aaron Jenkins from Spring, Texas, piloting the America. These fans want another strikeout. And that evens the count 2-2.
I think the chant here at Riverfront Stadium should be, don't look for Dibble to nibble. You talk about a guy who comes right at hitters.
Nothing cute about Dibble. Struck out the side. Sets it up for the Reds here in the bottom of the 9th. We'll see what they can do. The big guys are going to come up. Morris, Davis, and O'Neill. Bottom of the 9th. First game of the playoff. Pittsburgh 4, Reds 3.
Jack Buck's call of Ozzie Smith's home run in 1985, the National League Championship Series, was go crazy, folks. Go crazy. So I guess there's some Cardinal fans here.
Or a Cincinnati fan who wants something exciting.
Yeah.
Bob Patterson becomes the 3rd pitcher of the night for Pittsburgh. 8-5, 5 saves. He bailed these Pirates out in a game not too long ago at Wrigley Field and helped snap their 6-game losing streak that looked like it was going to do the Pirates in. Benzinger will pinch hit for Hal Morris. And listen to this crowd here in the bottom of the 9th. Patterson following walk and Belinda to the mound.
I think Bob Patterson's going to face one hitter. He's in there. They made the change. Now Bensinger's going to hit. Davis is the next hitter. They'll probably bring in Power to face him, and then Kipper to face O'Neill or a pinch hitter.
Bensinger has 5 home runs on the year. Bob Patterson throws low. This fella has a terrific breaking pitch, so Bensinger will be looking for that and hoping to get something else. Patterson. And a foul ball evens the count 1-1. Patterson from Jacksonville, Florida, lives in North Carolina, Hickory, North Carolina. So Jim Leland has given us a tip here. He's going to use everybody in that bullpen all through this playoff. 1-1. Foul ball 1-2. Bensinger is another of the Cincinnati products. He's from this territory. Ted Power is the right-hander. Bob Kipper the left-hander. Standing by in the bullpen. 1-2 to Bensinger. Base hit. That's his first pinch hit this season. He had been 0 for 15.
Well, I guess you could use that old saying, he doesn't get many pinch hits, but they're all big ones. Did he wait for the right time?
Well, they brought Patterson in, and then Piniella went to Bensinger, the switch hitter. And here is Eric Davis, whose misplay allowed Pittsburgh to grab the lead in the 7th, and with one swing, he could win the game.
Where's the right-hander?
No action to bring in Ted Power.
He's not bunting. You wouldn't suspect Davis up there bunting. Not now.
Tying run at first. Winning run at the plate. Ball 1 to Davis, and there's Leland. He stays with Patterson. He had Ted Power primed and ready.
And he had Stan Belinda already in there, who had retired 6 in a row. 3 strikeouts.
So we'll see if Leland has pulled the right strings. Pirates would love the double play. Cincinnati fans want a home run. Here's a foul ball to even the count 1-1. Lavalier to the mound. The owner of the Cincinnati Ball Club is Marge Schott. She's huffing and puffing and sweating this one out. 4-3 Pirates in the 9th. Tying run at first, nobody out. Eric Davis. Jim Leland. Home run wins it for Cincinnati. 2 balls and a strike. Simeone's on the bench. And Rick Mailer and Tom Browning. That's high again. 3-1, and Patterson heads for deep trouble. Bensinger, the runner, has stolen 3 bases this year. Patterson lost him. And watch this swing if it's around the plate. 3-2 on the foul ball. Leland sweating it out. If he can win this one, he's got Draybeck tomorrow. Well, watch the runner, Bensinger.
Interesting situation. This Herm Winningham's definition of a rally cap. We'll see if Bensinger's going. Davis does not put the ball in play on the ground very often.
Runner is gone. Low, ball 4. Ball 4, and there are 2 men on. That pitch was close. Down around the knees. And it's first and second, nobody out.
I think Mike LaValliere got a late call. With the count 3-2 and less than 2 outs, what a catcher wants is a quick call. Boy, that was an awfully close pitch, and Eric Davis walks very, very close. And now a pinch hitter for Paul O'Neill is Ron Oster, and he's up there to do one thing, bunt. He has 6 sacrifices on the season.
Oster will pinch hit for Paul O'Neill. O'Neill was 1 for 3. There's Jim Leland. What'll he do?
I'll tell you, when you look at Jeff King and Jay Bell, they converged at the mound. You got to think that a rotation play may be on. On that play, King charges from third. Dream, of course, charges from first. The shortstop Bell goes to third, and Lean, the second baseman, goes to first. We'll see if they put it on.
Another reason they send up Oster, he's a switch hitter. If he gets behind on the count, he can withstand a pitching change. He bunts. And out at third. Patterson, the left-hander, had the play in front of him, and he got his man. And that was close. Doesn't take Fennella long to get out there, does it?
The Pirates were playing it straight up. No rotation play. A little hesitation there by Patterson. And he had him. He had him. Good call by Dutch Rennert.
So the play went 1-5. Menzinger forced by an eyelash. Tying runs at second, the winning run at first with 1 out. Here comes the Pirate manager.
I think Jim Leland thinking, well, I dodged a bullet with Eric Davis up there, and now I've got to go to the right-hander to pitch to Chris Sabo.
Sabo is the due batter, and here comes Ted Power to try to end it. 4-3 Pittsburgh, 9th inning. Fourth pitcher of the night for Pittsburgh is Ted Power. 1 3, 7 saves. He's a hard thrower. His opponent will be Chris Sabo, the leading home run hitter on the Cincinnati club this year with 25. We have a pinch runner carrying the potential winning run at first, Bill Bates, who came over from Milwaukee. That was in the Ron Robinson trade. Tying run is at second base. That's Eric Davis. Sabo is a much better hitter against left-handed pitching than he is against right-handed pitching. And tonight he's 1 for 3. What'll it be? A game-winning blow or a double play to end it? 4-3 Pittsburgh, 9th inning, 2 on, 1 out. Breaking ball and puts Power ahead on the count. The runner at second base is Eric Davis. And at first base, the potential winning run is Bill Bates. And it's up to Sabo to get something done with 1 out. Ted Power used to pitch for Cincinnati. Strike 1 the count. No throw back to second. A double play wins it for Pittsburgh. Extra base hit would likely win it for Cincinnati. And the Pirates sweat it out. They fell behind 3-0 in the first. They lead now 4-3 in the ninth. They're running. Throw to second. That man is out, and the tying run is at third base with 2 out.
LaValliere going for the trail runner, realizing he has no play on Eric Davis. You talk about a heads-up play by Mike LaValliere. coupled with the fact that Bill Bates just entered the game. He's not loose. He can't get loose. How can you get loose if you're a pinch runner? LaValliere, a sparkling play by going for the trail runner. He realized he couldn't get Davis, and now there are 2 outs.
Davis at third. 0-2 the count to Sabo. Pirates are 1 strike away from a victory. And they got him, and the Pirates win it 4-3. Power gets a strikeout after the brilliant play by LaValliere, and Davis is left stranded. And Pittsburgh, with Drabek ready to pitch tomorrow, came from behind to win this one 4-3 after trailing 3-0 after 1. They are a resilient group.
Ted Power came in relief of Bob Patterson, and to Chris Sabo went slider, slider, slider. None were strikes, but all were strikes. All check swings. Look at the third check swing by Chris Sabo. But the play in this inning, Mike LaValliere's anticipation of the runners running and nailing the trail runner, and that was pinch runner Bill Bates.
Eric Davis was left stranded, and these Pirates have won it 4-3, 4-7-1, 6 left, 3-5-0, 3 left for the Reds. The winner was walked, the loser was Charlton, and now Pittsburgh leading 1-0. Tomorrow will have their best pitcher, Doug Drabek, at 3 o'clock Eastern time to try to make it a sweep before they go back to Pittsburgh. We have some post-game interviews you're certain to enjoy after this close game. 4-3 Pittsburgh.